first talk about how Allah speaks about natural resources on this earth. I'll start with a few easy places. And by the way, by no means are the selection of ayat I've made today comprehensive. These are all samplings. I'm touching on the subjects. Each one of those subjects for Islamic university students, each one of these subjects can be a PhD dissertation if they dive deep enough. They can be. But I'm just touching, just getting drops from each of these different oceans. Okay. Allah says, أَنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. We made the rain fall down heavy. ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا. We made the earth tear open. فَأَنْبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا. We caused the grain to come out. وَعِنَبًا وَقَضْبًا وَزَيْتُونًا وَنَخْلًا. The grapes, the fruits, the bunches of fruits that come out, olives, palm trees, وَفَاكِهَةً, all kinds of fruits, وَأَبًّا, all kinds of pasture, all kinds of crop, مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ, as something to be utilized by all of you, وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ, and for your animals. So now, very briefly, Allah talked about rain and produce and our consumption and animal consumption, particularly cattle, sheep, etc. If you just think from an economic perspective, nations that have their natural agricultural resources, meat resources, poultry resources, dairy resources, are actually at a huge economic advantage already because they don't have a food shortage. And many of those nations, there's entire regions in the world that depend on them for their exports, and they determine the price of something like wheat and eggs and bread at the grocery store, etc. All of that is entirely dependent on this. It's simply mentioned in an ayah. But if you think about this from an economic perspective, what Allah has done is mentioned one of the most profound resources. You would think in the ancient world, people were farmers. And now we have big buildings and highways and mobile devices. But you know what? We still need eggs. We still need bread. We still need milk. We still need the fruit. You're still going to go to the grocery store and buy the same fruit that somebody was eating, 5,000 years ago. We have the same fundamental dependencies. And whenever there's for example, in Ukraine, because of the conflict with Russia and Ukraine, Ukraine was supplying wheat and other natural, food resources to many countries, and prices spiked. And it started affecting the bottom line in many, many countries. And by the way, when food prices go up, it starts having a trickle effect on other commodities. The entire business supply chain starts getting affected. So Allah is talking about one thing, but it has such major impact on how the world functions. Entire nations go to war over water supply. We saw some of that in the recent conflict between Pakistan and India, for example. الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وأنزل من السماء ماء فأخرج به من الثمرات رزقا لكم. The one who created the skies and the earth and sent water from the sky, rain again. And so rain is now steady, for example, on your own. You can cheat now. Go ask ChatGPT, okay? The impact of rain on the global economy. Just anything you study in the Quran, just as a personal exercise, Allah is talking about something and let's talk about the clouds, or Allah is talking about rain, or Allah is talking about just that on the global economy. And you'll be like, whoa, this is a lot deeper than I thought. This is really serious, impactful stuff. Allah says He produced all kinds of fruit as rizq for you, rizqan lakum. Now Allah is not just saying that He was producing these things. He's saying these are a means by which you can have rizq. Now,